my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Steven, Collecto6, number 6, C6.
Thank you.
Mr. Mystery, and award-winning co-host, or joint host with the most, Steven.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Just making up random things. I always like to give you like lots of names. It's like my pet thing for you. I don't know.
Well, it is it is nice that we can add award-winning to our broadcast, our show, and it was certainly we came close the year before, but we really weren't in full chat at that point, and then after we lost by just so few votes, then it was sort of both of us made a commitment to try to bring the best stuff we could and to enlighten and amuse our crowd, our chat, which is the best chat ever. We have a wonderful chat.
I haven't figured this looking thing, by the way. Okay.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Okay, I'm going to look at the camera right now. You tell me, am I looking at the camera?
Yes, you are. You're looking right straight. When you do that, you're looking right straight at me. For example, am I looking at you right now?
No.
I'm not? That's because my camera is over here.
Yeah, my camera's right there. So when I look at you, I'm looking here where you are.
Yeah, it's screwy. I guess that you can set your
looking at the camera like this way.
Well, just picture the chat naked. That's what they say you're supposed to do if you're uncomfortable. Just picture them all naked. I've never understood how that makes things better, though. Can you explain that one to me?
Okay, so the thing is, picturing the audience nude is a good thing if it's majority women, but in the comic book community, it's majority men.
Well, it's all real anyway, Alan. It's all real anyway.
Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so Alan, stop looking at the camera. I want to get this shot and go home.
Get this shot. What's that mean?
I don't know. Okay, so let me say hello to the chat.
Hello to the chat.
Hello to the chat. And we got Kamen. Kamen, you're first again. Good for you.
Greetings.
And then we got Luigi.
Louis.
Is that here? I suck at this. Now my computer is like doing weird things. Okay. Well, stop that. Okay. Then we got Mark.
Hello, Mark.
And we got John.
John.
And Matt.
Big Matt.
Big Matt.
Award-winning Matt.
Double
award-winning Matt.
Yeah. Then we got Felix.
Felix.
Robbie Josephs, who's going to be on Matt's show tomorrow.
I look forward to it, to finally put a face with the name. I think that'll be great.
Yeah. And we got Robbie again. Then we got Mark again. One sec here. I gotta click through all these ones. Then we got Big Nasty.
Hi, Big Nasty Rich.
And we have Steve.
Steve.
I got to do the tonking thing.
I know.
And we got to go to.
Is your desk? Is it just like a table type desk that you're sitting on?
It's like it's all built like a thing, right? So it's like I can show you it. One sec. This is like going to be like very like.
If you put a sound attenuating pad, or even just put a towel under your under your laptop, it won't do that.
Now you can see yourself.
Oh God! I'm an infinity cover.
And then, did you notice like the tape? See that tape?
Yes. What's that for?
Whenever I show a cover, see your infinity now. Whenever I show a cover where I have to censor, I have this tape handy.
I see.
Grab the tape. So I grab the tape. I just say, "Oh, okay. Oh, it's a naughty cover. I can't show it. I gotta grab the tape." So you can see the room. You guys want to see the room? You can see all the art up top. I put it on my wall up there. Right.
Who did the Elvira?
The Elvira. That was by Ron Sutton.
Very nice.
He actually worked on Elvira back in the day.
That's a beautiful thing.
And then you got my other comics here, like the Richie Rich and all those ones. Your socks that you guys gave me. Can you see that way over there? Socks.
Oh, yes. We
And
made
then
the
you got-
display.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys. This is me giving you guys a tour of the room. See all the comics over there?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of, and then you got the ones over here, my fleece. And then you got, oh, you can see the little bit of that statue that is really cute.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Oh, my God statue.
And then we got like all my boxes here. It's very poorly organized right now, but
It rhymes with lust, and I've never understood that. It rhymes with lust. What rhymes with lust? Rust?
rust.
Trust?
No, it's bust. It must be bust. I'm thinking it's bust. And then you
Okay.
can see like my room is just like you can see all those are all the
You've dedicated some space to some funny books here.
yeah. So that's that. And then
You can see I don't do that.
all my long boxes here. Yeah, all my long boxes. It's just
And then there's the ladder of no return.
yeah, the ladder of no return. That's
The
how
ladder of no return.
And I think wait. There. Wait, if I point it correctly, that's the door to get into this room. Okay.
What's on the back of the door? It looks like a monster.
It's a monster. It's the crypt keeper. It's like
okay.
Okay, so that's my room
Very
tour.
nice. Very nice.
A little bit of a room tour. Okay, I got distracted. I get very easily distracted, people.
No, listen, we didn't say hi. It was
I'm getting
to the last fellow that you just backed away from.
I said hi, just Michael. That was just Michael.
Hello, just Michael.
And we got Mike Pope.
Mike?
And you love it when I do that.
Tonka, 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 tonka.
I know, it's really great. It's part of the show. It's part of the ambiance of this show. Hi,
Travis?
And I gotta make note.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. There's a lot of hellos that I have to go through. That's why the lot of the things. Okay.
That's all right.
So thank you guys. By the way, thank you a lot, Matt. You will help the Allen Foundation of Comic Collecting. What? No, you don't have to do that. It's not that loud. Is it really that loud?
What? What?
All right. Well, I didn't think it was that loud. Okay, we got Chonko here. Hi, Chonko.
Hi, Mike.
And we got Diabetic Superman.
Soups?
And who else we got here? Oh, did I do John Harrison? I don't think so.
I think you said John, but John's good. Hello?
Oh, shoot. Now it scrolled really fast. Then we go Knives. Hi, Knives.
Hi, Knives.
If I hold it and then it does some crazy thing. So that's kind of crazy. Okay.
Frontier?
Last Frontier. Kind of want to do that, but then not do it too fast. Okay. Then we got AG. Hi, AG.
Hi, Aubrey.
And then,
I hope you're feeling good.
yeah, hopefully.
Mr. Rooster?
Mr. Rooster. And Archivist.
Jason?
And who else we got here? It's a lot of hellos, people. One second here. One second.
Well, we're really happy you guys have
I do
come. We
appreciate it.
really do enjoy and appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
Hi,
hello,
Sue.
Susie. Oh, shoot. And then we got Phil.
Big Phil.
I think I missed a whole bunch of people when I did that. Okay, one sec here. And then we got Job Lot.
Job Lot.
I think I missed somebody else. One sec here. Nope, we got them. And then we got Rob Saint.
Rob.
We got Callie.
Hi, Callie.
Comic Mike.
Mike.
Actually, there's still more after that. One sec here. I think I got everyone. Whew.
Wonderful. Good. Thank you all for coming. Good stuff today.
Yeah, so this should be a good show.
Good stuff.
We're each going to be highlighting one artist. Stephen actually picked up a really great book that he's been looking for some time. For some time.
And since the 90s.
When he came out, when he was born, he asked for this book, and his mom didn't give it to him.
Well, perhaps not that far back.
Okay, well, back when the dinosaurs were just sort of hanging out, that's when he was.
Wasn't that where I met you?
So he's been looking for this book for a while. He finally picked it up. It's a Kamen related book.
Jack Kamen, yeah.
Yeah, and since he's going to be doing Kamen, I felt like I didn't want to repeat the same stuff, so I'm going to be showing another artist, Joe Doolin, and I got a ton of stuff from Joe Doolin, and you guys can say which one you like better at the end.
Oh, you're so competitive.
I'm very competitive. That's my thing. I have to be. I don't know.
I just have to keep beating you again and again and again. I don't understand
Actually,
why you enjoy.
Last time it was a tie. So
well, I did my level best to make it a draw for you, but I want to make you feel like you were doing good.
Okay, we got one more hello to say. Oh, oops.
Jay Lentz.
Jay Lentz. That's a new one. I don't remember seeing him before. So hi.
Oh, the Kamen Riders. No, I mean the Kamen term.
The Kamen term. The Kamen. In this case, it just means Jack Kamen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack, small alligator, Joe Doolin. Doolin. Yes.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. Not for me. Okay. Let's get into it. So
are we doing 1 round or 2 rounds?
We can do 2 rounds.
All right.
Rounds. Yeah. Do you want to go first, or do you want?
Well, will you call the shot? You're the boss.
I go first because you have the big finale.
I thought that would be the best.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so I'm going to go first. Okay, so Joe Doolin actually is a really interesting person. He's born in 1896, and so he actually served in the First World War, and he actually, was a talented artist by that point. And then after the First World War, he went into doing the pulps. He did a lot of the pulp magazine. But he got into, there was sort of a comic boom that happened around the early 40s. And he got sucked into that because he was doing a lot of the pulp covers for Fiction House. And so Fiction House needed artists that they could trust to do really great covers. And Joe Doolin was kind of the guy for that. He was the man that they could trust. And actually, a lot of the covers that were in Fiction House's pulps, they kind of just redid and made them their comic covers. And the guy that was really the inspiration behind Fiction House, the guy that owned it, he really was all about making the best covers ever. And he was like a bit of a perfectionist. And he trusted Joe Doolin for those great covers. And
that trust was well placed too.
Well placed. Now I'll show you what I mean by great covers. So this is a really good example. I wish my colors were better. I know you have a nice copy of this one, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. The one problem, like all that said, I just said, I built up Fiction House. I said, they're really great with covers. And then they were cheap on the ink. And a lot of the covers have this kind of like faded look to them, which is really messed up. But I love this one. I love Girls in Tubes kind of covers. And this is a great one of that. It's one of my favorite Planet comics, actually. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you another great Joe Doolin cover. This is the Medusa. Not sure, can you see it? Well, sometimes the plastic kind of hides it a bit. I always love this one. I like the fact that her hair is even nailed down. Like, why would you nail down the girl's hair?
Well, that, of course, now that reminds me of that fantastic Rangers Brown cover, where it's the samurai is about to, she has her head facing up.
Yeah. That's a fight.
That is and of course, Fight 35 too. But
yeah. But I actually was almost going to bring it, but it's not a Joe Doolin, so I didn't bring it. But this one is really interesting. Got this weird robot guy coming through, smashing through. I like Medusa as a character as well. So I always thought the history behind Medusa was a interesting thing where she was, she was raped by Poseidon, and and because of that, she was like a, one of those, temple girls, like, and they were supposed to be pure, and because she was all of a sudden impure, not by her own doing, then she gets punished by the sin of pride, and had like all these snakes in her hair.
That's
and
Medusa.
That's Medusa's story.
So
yeah.
Medusa had the sin of being prideful.
Well, like that, she not prideful, but more that that pride of her looks, like that she was too beautiful, and therefore her very looks would be her downfall. That what I mean, like the snakes,
I dig
the turning men to stone, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, hello, Rad Art and Comics.
Hi, Rad.
Lord of Brooklyn.
And we got Lord of Brooklyn. I didn't see him, but I saw people saying hello to him. Okay. And hi, Lord of Brooklyn. Okay. And here's another one. This one is in really rough shape, but the key parts of it are there. I got this one cheap. Sometimes I bid on things on Heritage, and I'm just like, why not? It's just like, when it's like in that sort of cost of the slab kind of level.
Yeah.
I kind of go for it. And it was one I needed. So this is Planet Comics number 34. And it's missing a big chunk right here. Now, what it's missing is there's a guy kind of strewn on the floor there. But the main part that I liked is this girl that's in bondage on the side here. So I just thought this was a really cool cover. It's a 0.5 because it's missing the 2 center wraps. So
that's sort of a remnant copy.
A remnant copy. Got it for almost the cost of the slabs. I'm like, why not? I do like it though. I think it's a cool cover. So yeah. So I thought that was a cool one. And he's shooting those other guys. I thought that was cool. And then this one's a bit better colors. You can see that the colors are quite nice.
He was prolific, and his stuff is so good. A lot of jungle, a lot of fights. I mean,
we'll
really
get into
was.
Those. I'll be showing a lot of the fights and jungles. Yeah. But I really like, personally, I really like the Planet Comics the best. It's my favorite of the series. I just...
I can't really choose. I love Fight very much. The way
Fight
his
really
fight covers are awfully
I like
good.
sci-fi. I
know. I don't choose between my children.
Yeah. Well, I do. My children, they know who I like most. It depends on which one gives me more money.
You sound like you're out of a Dickens novel or something.
I know, it sounds really brutal. I'm just joking.
I'm very sorry I don't like you.
Yeah. Dad! Okay. Oh, and Bearded Rooster's here. A Bearded Rooster.
Greetings.
We have lots of roosters here today. And we got...
Oh, that's a great one right there.
Classic one. Dave Stevens did a homage to it later on.
Among others,
yeah. Just a classic cover. I always thought this guy's arm thing was really weird. How he's got like the skeleton arms. I think, is it because
that's Hunt Bowman, isn't it?
I think so.
No, I don't think that's Hunt Bowman.
No,
Hunt
it is
Bowman
Hunt
has
Bowman.
has the big code number across his chest. It's weird. What a great name, though. Hunt Bowman. What does he do? I don't know. What does he do?
Something with a bow. But yeah, so this one's really cool. The funny thing is this one was actually one where they liked it so much they actually used it in the pulp after. So instead of the other way around, where they ripped off the pulp and made it a comic, this one they liked the cover so much they made it a pulp. So I
didn't realize that Doolin had been in World War I. I did not know that.
He actually tried to get into World War II.
My grandfather did too.
But he was 46, and they said, sorry, but you're a bit
Grandpa was the... What year was he born again, did you say?
1896.
See, Grandpa was in 98. Grandpa was in 96 as well. So yeah. It's they both got the same. I actually have a picture of Grandpa's draft card. I mean, where he filled out to go into the draft. He says, I'm ready to go. Send me where you want to send me. Pretty cool.
Okay, I'm going to show one more planet, and then I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okie doke.
Because I figure I'll break it up. Planets for first round, and then a whole bunch of other stuff for second round.
Sounds great.
Sadly they didn't let him in to the Second World War, but it kind of worked out for him because he became the primary guy at Fiction House during the war. Like, there was not many men. That's why Lily Renee and what was the other
can't
one?
think of the other one. I know. She's big, but it's terrible.
I'm blanking on her name.
But she was good.
But yeah,
Joy Stevenson or something like that.
Yeah. So this one, yeah.
And that's later in the print run, you can tell, because there's no red.
Yeah, the planet is kind of this weird dull
orange. But that's very, and that's the way it would have been printed
90%
as new.
Of them are like this. 90% of them are like this, though.
Yeah.
So this one has a bit of restoration. Pieces added glue, tear steels, reinforced, interior lightened.
So not much.
Not much. Just it's a C4.
A bit. A C4.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have the freshmen working on it, not the varsity.
Yeah, no, it's like
caramba.
Guy just going crazy on it. But it's kind of cool, and it's got what is this thing? What is this thing on the back? Free red and white wig wag. Now,
so
this would have like little flags inside or something, and then
a wig wag is that was how they would signal ships. They could actually send messages by flags. Have you never heard of that?
A wig wag? No, I'm not.
That's what, in other words, when they show the guys on the ship and they've got the flags and they're going left, they're signaling.
I just
that's called wig wagging, and the other one is they'll have a rod, a pole with a flag, and they'll wave it back and forth and up and down.
I know all that, but I didn't
you know it all. Okay, you know it all.
I just didn't know it was called a wig wag.
Okay, but you knew it.
But I've seen them do
it. But you knew it. Okay.
In the old movies, they'd always do it a lot. Like they would signal with the flags, and they would make a big deal about it, right?
I see.
And you can see the little picture of them doing it right here, even.
Yes, well, that's with two flags. They could do it both with one flag and two.
So what is this thing? Is this like a...
That's so that you can see it. It's the Wonder Scope. 5 power for short range, 10 power for extra mileage. Brings objects far away, clearly close to your eye.
Wow.
It's a telescope.
And it comes... Okay. Free with this amazing offer, red and white wig wag signal flags with authentic code instruction.
Which means they will show you how you have absolutely no hope in the world of actually figuring out how to do it.
So you get you get these kind of like flaggy things too.
The reason they used those to begin with, until they had handheld searchlights that basically had hello Baron, that had very strong mirrors behind them, and then they had louvers in the front, and that's when they would signal. Either aircraft would signal down, and they had a peep sight down the top of them where you would aim so that you knew exactly where the light was going, and it was very, very efficient. Ships would do that as well, especially at nighttime. At nighttime you can't do it, but
of course you got the little light thing that you go.
Then you have the larger ones that they had too, where they had a lever that they would do that was spring loaded.
In the basement of this house, I know this might sound weird, I have one of those signal lights. Like, it's pretty large. It's like a signal light. I guess the person that lived in this house before me, they were really into like British nautical stuff. So
nautical but nice?
Nautical but nice, yeah. Yeah. So they have like a signal light. I'll show it someday. It's like pretty big. And it's like
when I was a kid, I don't think it was Remco. It might have been. But they had the blinkers that were handheld. There was put batteries in the back. It was about this big around with a handle and a trigger. And it had the louvers would move up and down with an arm that went up from the trigger.
Okay,
wig wag, not wig wom. It's wig wag.
Wig wom is like a dome
teepee.
Teepee. Well, teepee is like this, like a triangle. Wig wom is like round. See, I know stuff.
You know stuff. Just ask you.
Okay, just ask me. I'll tell you I know stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wait, I clicked you. 1 sec here. There you go. No. There we go. I clicked it 3 times.
Here I am. That's all right. Because I'm showing Jack Kamen today.
Oh man. 1 sec. Because we talked about wigwams and teepees.
He's too tense. He's just too tense.
Aha.
Okay, you dig?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
We'll groan later, but thanks a lot, Jason. Thank you. Because I am showing Jack Kamen today, the team of Matt Baker and Jack Kamen were in the Iger House of Art together. And the fact was that Matt Baker was the old hand and Jack Kamen was the new guy.
We learned that later.
We learned that later. And the interesting thing was that in that time, there were whenever there was a cover, Kamen would said in an interview that if they had a thing like with Fox Features Syndicate, for example, or Fiction House too, Fiction House when they worked there as well. But the fact was, if they needed a girl, if they needed a femme, if they needed a babe on the cover, they'd say, where is Baker and where is Kamen? And depending upon which guy had the more of a workload, they would basically choose them. Now, the person that they didn't call, because he was so busy with his books, was Feldstein, because he was doing all this other stuff. So his work, good girl work, were only on the books that were his, that he did. I've yet to find a Feldstein cover elsewhere.
There are some
of a good girl nature. If there are very few, because he had all of his time, because each job was paid, and so he did every single job so that he would get paid for every single facet of creating this book so he could support his family.
So he did do some good girl art covers for EC. So he did
now that was later though. No, but that was later. I'm talking about in the Fiction House, in the Fiction House, I mean the Fiction House, in the Iger House portion of the program.
I don't think so.
Okay, so what I did was, in honor of him, I brought out some very, very nice Matt Baker covers, which you've seen before, but I think they are just lovely. And because I invoked Mr. Feldstein, I brought out some beautiful Sunnies that I have, the 3 Sunnies. And then I also, because I just love this cover, I brought out an Eisner just because. And then right here, I have a Shane McCormick picture of Gaiety #1 that is a Schomburg piece, and perhaps one of the rarest and most desirable Schomburg pieces that there is on the large size and what have you, which is cool. So, but Mr. Kamen, although it hasn't been ballyhooed or wasn't ballyhooed, he also served in World War II. He went in, and I think in either 42 or 43 for the duration. And then when he came back, he went back to work doing comics. He was born in 1920. He died in 2008. He was born in Brooklyn. Seems like an awful lot of the guys were born in Brooklyn or in the New York environs that were artists, because they all seem to go to the Pratt Institute of Art or some other art situation there. His first job was as an assistant for a sculptor. I mean, it's interesting where they went. He passed away in Boca Raton, but he started in Brooklyn, but ended up in Boca Raton. Mr. Kamen was there were 2 guys that were, I would say, the very top of the good girl era that started at the end of 46. Of course, at the end of 46, going into 47, all the way up to 50, basically, and then it's sort of hit and miss. They added more word balloons as the time went on. I don't know, and I don't understand why, what the reasoning for that was. The earlier books from 47 on, like from 47 in through 48 and some of 49. as more and more words encroached on the art inside the panels. It made the, because you didn't need to have Shakespeare in every one. You didn't have to have all this oratory and soliloquies and all this other crap, because all the guys wanted was minimal. They could have the little square thing up at the top and tell you what's going on. They didn't have to have this word balloon where the character is talking. Well, I was thinking about, before I was going to go to the parking lot, I thought I would like, shut up. I don't need to know that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to have more bodies. I mean, I want to have a larger image upon which to look, and then basically hang the plot. In other words, all of the art is what's selling it. It isn't these guys that thought they were great writers. But for some reason, editorially, that was allowed to happen. So as you get further into what you would call the good girl era, then towards the end, and it got so wordy, basically the good girl, standalone good girl titles really went away. It's a very short window. However, they knew that was good stuff because it is good stuff. So rather than going into others,
made a difference in terms of which is cheaper to print.
But you just make a piece of art. You make the art bigger. That's all you would do. That's all you'd have. That's all you'd have to do. The guys didn't arbitrarily make the characters smaller. They said, we've got all this dialogue, make the characters smaller. Well, it sucks. So, but what they did was, instead of dedicating it to these good girl books, which I'm going to show you some that were dedicated to be good girl books, what they did was they shot it out all the way through all the different genres of the atomic age. Westerns, science fiction, pre-code horror. How many pre-code horror girls in red dresses, right? Well, that was all a function of the popularity of Good Girl that was then used. And they took, let's jazz this up. Let's not just have some guy with an exploding head. Let's have, as wonderful and attractive as that is, let's have a monster dragging a beautiful woman and putting her on the wheel. And you can then enjoy not only the horror or the science fiction where they're launching them into space, nude and little, Wally Wood-wise and stuff like that. What you would do is they were able to utilize that. And they also would include good-looking girls in the prose. I mean, that is to say, in the pages within. So the content would give that to you as well. But what I'm focusing on, these are all St. John. When Matt Baker left the Iger House, he went to Archer St. John Jr., invited him in with open arms to St. John. And from that point, then he did a lot of work. I was really unaware of all that he had done. And sometime soon, I will show you a whole bunch of Matt Baker stuff. But today it's going to be Kamen, because between the two of them, what I've determined, it just sort of came up the other day. The immortal Biggie Shack brought this up. He said that Baker is beautiful and Kamen is sexier.
Yeah.
And I think that his point is very well taken indeed. And so with that in mind, there's Tom Nordy. Hello, Tom. And so with that in mind, I will show you some. Now, the first book I'm going to show you, years ago when I met Dave Alexander, David DTA Collectibles, David Tiberius Alexander, what happened was he turned me on to Fox Features Syndicate and sent me a couple books. He says, see what you think of these. And of course I said, oh my God, I couldn't believe what it's so great. And the very first book that I got from him, from a collection that he had found called the Loon Collection. I've talked about this. I bought damn near every Loon book he ever offered to me because they are so uniformly beautiful. And all of this happened in 1995, 96, 97, 98, 99. That's when he got that huge collection in, and I was buying it hand over fist because I knew, Dave said, you just don't see these and these are pretty. I urge you, I recommend, not because I'm selling, but knowing you and you're going to like these. So a couple of them he kept, several of them he kept. And I said, why won't you sell those to me? He says, well, my wife likes them. I don't know if his wife really liked them. I said, your wife, Dave? Are you kidding me? Yeah, they're her books. Yeah. There is it. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, fast forward, and the Loon books are a big chunk of my Good Girl that I have, my raw Good Girl stuff. Some of the ones I slabbed my anyway. And so one of the books that he had kept, there were two that he kept. And his son came out to the Pacific Northwest from Florida, seeking employment or going, checking things out for employment. And at that time, my family had the Imperial Hotel and Mallory Hotels, but at the Imperial is where I was the manager. That was my career. And so he says, could you put him up at the Imperial? And I said, be more than happy to. And one of the things that you can do as a manager is to do it for free. So I wouldn't let him pay anything for meals or anything else. And it was my pleasure to do it because Dave had been so nice to me. And then some time passed, and he says, gee, it made a big difference for us to know that he was someplace with someone we knew and felt comfortable with. And if there was a problem, you were there. It was very, very nice. Nothing ever happened, but I was there. And, Dave and I had talked, over the years. Matter of fact, he was the one that got me into the first San Diego Comic-Con that I went to, which was, I think, in 96 or 97. And he gave me a name badge, and it was Ben Dover. It was very good. Everyone said, Ben, how are you? Anyway, so he said, Steve, I'm going to sell you those two books that my wife wanted to hold on to. And here's the first one. This is probably a 9.4. I would say easily a 9.4. It has cover gloss. It is absolutely beautiful. It's all top number 10.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth. Now, in this book,
raw too. That's a great cover. I love that one.
It is a great cover. And this gives you an idea of what Kamen would do. His hair, although alive, was not as bouncy as Matt Baker. And one of the tales that I told Alan about right off the bat is that Kamen preferred the curved dagger because they seemed more ominous, I suppose. But this book, they have the Rula story is Flames of Fury. And it's got all these, and of course, Rula, JoJo, Phantom Lady, and then the Blue Beetle. The Blue Beetle story was the clunker of the bunch because it was just the Blue Beetle running around. But with the Phantom Lady, the villains are all saying, oh my God, it's Phantom Lady, and she brought her breasts with her.
He's not a gremlin, he's a pygmy.
And usually he'll put bones in their noses and stuff too. It's really of the time.
Totally appropriate.
Okay, so anyway, and the reason why this is Rula on the cover, and Rula has on her attire, is that she was an aviatrix who crashed her plane in the jungle of Africa. She went on, she says, I'm bored. I'm going to go for a ride. I'm going to go fly. I'm cool. I know what I'm doing. Then her plane falls, goes into the jungle, crashes, and she kills a giraffe. As the plane comes down, she kills a giraffe dead. And so all of her clothes have mysteriously disappeared in the crash. How that actually occurred, I have no idea. So she happened to have a very strong knife with her because trying to cut a giraffe would be rather difficult. This is all true. And so she then, basically being sartorially correct in every way, carved herself out a bikini that she wore for many, many years out of the skin of the poor giraffe that died. The giraffe that died.
All bloodied and stuff like that.
None of that stuff at all. And she had the little lacings to do everything like that. And then she became part of the jungle, and she was intrepid and all that. And she was fearless. And she was revered by the minions in here. But this story here, Rula and the Flames of Fury, I did an actual article on this book for the comic book marketplace. And the reason I did was because the interior of this book is absolutely spectacular. Every story the Blue Beetle's okay too, but some hero kicking a bad guy's butt, says, no. Let's watch Rula. And what Rula was doing was some guys came into the jungle with a flamethrower, and they were basically telling the people they had to pay him or he would use the flamethrower on them. And so the guy says, really, how does it work? So this guy went over to a tree filled with monkeys, all of them
yeah.
chattering.
Brutal
And then
guy.
he turned the flamethrower on the tree full of the live monkeys. And then they have panels of the monkeys
Monkeys
falling out,
dropping from the
screaming on
trees.
fire.
It's a crazy. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
That and I said when I
This
and
is
when I
awesome.
saw that and when
Yeah.
I saw that I went, oh my God! But this one was one of the ones that he kept. But as you can see, this is just a beautiful thing. This is really a great illustration of his art. Here is a book that is one of the Blue Beetles that I will show you. But this is a raw copy that I have of a Blue Beetle. And when I was in the early '90s or in the '90s, when I would still sell books. I bought this one, and even at the time, I said, I will not sell it. I have no intention of ever selling it because it was just too cool. And it is Blue Beetle number 54, The Disappearing Bra Cover. And this book came out of Louisiana, so out of New Orleans is where it came from. And this was I think this was the first one I got, and the color strike on it is very, very good. I would say that it's at least a 7.5, probably maybe an 8. And so this is the one, and I will be showing you that I have a slab of it as well. I bought a slab at the same in 2001 or 2 because I wanted to get to have an additional one, and then because this is just probably one of the best. Now, two things about this cover. Again, this is Kamen. Kamen used mirrors quite a bit to show what she was seeing or what was coming, or I mean, Baker did the same thing. And you'll notice that she is actually coming out of the mirror. You see? She is actually coming out of the mirror.
I never noticed that until you pointed it out, strangely.
Sometimes if you look deeper sometimes if you just look at her fanny and you look at her back and you look at the front, you don't really look. I like to, and the reason I actually saw this, that she was coming out, is because I'm so used to looking at Schomburg covers.
Well, it's just that one arm that comes out.
Well, no, she's one arm is in and one arm is out. She's coming out. And you also don't see now, Alan, quit talking, will you? And then if you will notice that there is no green dress on the inside of the mirror. You see, she doesn't have the green dress she's trying to either put on or take off. Again, the curved dagger, as you can see. But that is his face work and his body work were just second to none. Really, really beautiful compositions, I think. Here is one that is from Superior Comics, and it's Bruce Gentry. And this has been mimicked by other artists. There's a couple books, or at least one other book, that has pretty much this same picture, but it's a science fiction. Which one is it, Alan? You have it. It's not Captain Science, is it? One of those. But anyway, but here she is. She's had Bruce Gentry has found her. She had a little problem with the airplane, and it looks as though the foundation she has for her breasts was also got lost, but she still had her shirt. I'm not entirely sure what's. But I'm going along, and then she's got on the Tom McCann kind of loafers.
Hi, Bleeker.
Of the Skort.
Skort is like a shirt plus skirt.
Okay, and so, but you'll notice those Goon Squad looking loafers. What the hell is she wearing? Those are men's shoes. What is she wearing that? But we're not looking at that. We're looking at the explosion. We're looking about how he
shoes being so ugly. Yeah,
it's how she. And it was the way that we could bring and feature all those things that Kamen is known for. There's that. These three books are also from the Loon collection, and I had never heard of this title. And Dave again said, "Are you familiar with Clairvoyant?" I said, "No." And the story about Clairvoyant was that she was a USO singer, and their ship got torpedoed, and I think it was a medical ship, so it was egregious. And she lost her memory, and they found her floating in a boat to rescue. She had no memory, and they said that she could figure things out almost as if she was a clairvoyant, and the name stuck. So that's kind of that is the fig leaf. That is the artifice that is used for the name, but it's just cool. But there are three of them. There are actually four. Issue one, I just don't think it's not up to snuff with the other three. It's a good cover, but not for me. But look at this baby. This is Kamen big time. It's got a tasty date stamp up there over the picture. But look at the color strike on this. These books, I've never been, I never got a collection that was an original owner collection to buy from that was as consistently, I mean, other than the Mile High or whatever, but that was as consistently nice as these were. And Dave at the time said, understand what you're looking at. And I listened to him.
Mm-hmm. I always find that one pairs nicely with Crime Reporter.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Here is another Kamen one where another tasty date stamp. And here is the bride getting clocked with her semi-transparent wedding dress. And hubby took a slug to the head and is bleeding out in the back seat of the sedan. And it is just of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a cool cover. It's so crazy. It's pistol whipping a bride. It's just like, wow.
This is what you would get. This is the atomic age. This is the atomic age. This is the area that where after the war they cranked all of this stuff up for horror and violence and Good Girl and everything. And when I showed this to Alan and I said the name of who it was, he said, who? And then a lot of the other guys in the chat said, who is that? And anyway, this is issue 4. This is the last issue. Now, Alan, who is this is fashioned after?
Oh, I forgot the girl's name again.
That's what I thought. Jane Russell.
Jane Russell. Oh, yes, Jane Russell.
Now say the last part.
Jane Russell. I knew that.
I knew that. Thank you.
I remember. Yeah, Jane Russell.
This was a very early purchase when I went on eBay, when eBay first started. I was looking and I didn't know who had done this cover, but I loved it. And I said, and it was like $35 book and it was in beautiful condition. And I thought, I'm just going to get that. I don't know who did it, but I really liked it. And it's by Jack Kamen and it's Ellery Queen #1.
Oh, nice.
And it's a Superior comic and it has, and it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. The other Ellery Queens are good too, and I have those, but I just wanted to.
This is the best. From
of the Ellery Queens, this one. But you look at this color strike on this. You see? Hi, who dat? Look at this. It was just me talking. You didn't miss a damn thing. So there you go. But isn't she lovely?
Yeah, it's such a great cover.
Now, he was that JoJo that I showed you. I pulled that one out before the rest, but these are also Jack Kamen covers in JoJo, and again JoJo the Congo King, and then JoJo is always pulling his girlfriend. Who is the girlfriend for JoJo, Alan?
Mason.
Tawny, isn't it?
Oh, Tawny. I was thinking the other girl. I was thinking the one for...
Who's the other one?
The one with... So there's JoJo.
I'll let you think about it. Here is the Pile of Skulls cover. She's all slicked up. See how shiny she looks with the yellow highlights? Look at the color strike on this. This is on cheap Fox Features Syndicate paper. Is so amazing that this, because the colors will bleed because the paper was so porous. It didn't stay. For example, look at his arm. See how it's bled up there up at the top there in the top right? The paper was so crappy. It couldn't even hold. The ink just sort of rolled. Cheap. And because it's this sleazy tactily kind of sandy paper, cheap ass paper. It's naughty, and the pictures
Mhm.
are naughty, and the thoughts and the plots are naughty, and there's torture, and it's just wonderful stuff. This was
Yeah,
not aimed at children because people were reading comics back in 47, 48,
I
which were
always
young.
thought that too, Chunko. That it looks like she has a poo
It
head.
looks like it's what it is it's some kind of a fur. I thought it looked like chocolate soft serve. Thanks for saying the other one, Choco. Um, but she's got a bone through it.
Mm,
But she's the queen of the skulls, the mountain of skulls. And then she
yeah,
would take her adversaries and she'd throw them into pot and boil them down and take the skulls and put them. Really, really, things for
yeah,
the kids.
wholesome stuff. Wholesome.
Wholesome, tasty too. Here is here. I'll show a few more and then I'll let you go and then I'll have the rest for the. This one is another one of the Loon books. God, it's a beauty book. Here is another JoJo. Death of the Fanged Lady, Wolfa and the Blood Beasts, and Devil Land. Now, in the day,
Hi.
high of comic issues, you will notice something in this. I wanted just to point this out. Kamen had another tell besides the curved dagger, but you will notice that the animals have faces. And it isn't like they are like Marlon Perkins and Mutual of Omaha, where they show the cheetah running or whatever it is. And it looks like a cheetah, looks like a lion, but his animals all have faces. So it's just the way they drew it. Now, and the other thing is the racial stereotyping that was done in the 1940s, that natives in Africa had bones in their noses. Some of them did. But I like that the flat top hairdos he put on these guys, right?
Yeah, it's like
He put on like they have almost like they have like a DA haircut, but they're high and tight with the bones in their nose, and they're loading Tawny down into the pit of these animals, and which is also what Doolin would always do, and what Kamen would do as well, is that the hero is always just a little far out. He's going to have to close the gap pretty damn quick to save her. But this is the color strike on this. I mean, it's like candy.
hmm,
Isn't that cool?
very cool.
One more, and then I'll save the rest for the end. This one I always call this She's a Cupcake. And it's a lot of times you get yellow covers. Most of them are yellow and red, or red and yellow. I mean, that's really that was one of the trademarks. But this is a white cover. This is JoJo the Congo King, but it doesn't have Tawny in trouble. It has this little blondie cupcake. Now, she's riding an ibex or whatever she's riding, like you do. And she has on her little dance sandals so that she can go out into the jungle. What in the hell is this woman doing in the jungle?
I don't know. She's riding
An ibex or whatever it is. She's a gazelle, I mean, whatever it is. But look at this. I mean, it's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and the interiors, and by the way, I bought this from Harley Yee. And in the time and this would have been in the 90s. And this one was a $350 book. That's his scrawl. VF. VF. Yes, side saddle. She's sitting a side saddle because she is a lady.
Yes, very much.
She wouldn't leg over and do like those naughty girls. She'll just wear this really skimpy red bikini.
That's ladies' attire.
It's just, this is jungle attire. Thank you. This is all jungle attire. And you'll notice the fingers, they always have this tasty stuff. And you can see a little bit of the bleed. You see the bleed on her sides there where the ink, the way it was. This is just the way that they are. And you'll get transmission from the inside cover because they didn't have ads for the inside cover. So the first page of the story is a duotone, like there'll be pinkish red, or deep blue or something like that. Blue and white or red and white for the inside cover. So whenever you see these things remaindered, you always lose, if you have them in an annual or something, you always lose the first page of the story. That's just the way, because it's on the cover. Just one of the things. So Fox Feature Syndicate is just great stuff, man. It really is. So anyway, that is the. I will stop here, and then I got some good stuff to show you.
Okay,
As if
cool.
this wasn't good, but I mean, it's
Yeah, all good stuff.
of my
Okay.
very, very favorite books. They are.
Okay, so I actually had one more planet to show, another dueling planet. This one's another low grade one, but the cover's really well preserved. So I think I got this and the other 0.5 in the same auction where they're really cheap. So I was like, hey, why not? This one's missing a couple pages. It actually says, I think it's just 2 ad pages that were missing, so which is interesting. So, yeah, bodybuilding on the back. And then, so Joe Doolin, he worked pretty much most of the titles at Fiction House. And,
Hello, Jim Lentini.
Oh, hi, Jim Lentini. So this is another Doolin one where, it's this great bondage cover. And I was so lucky when I won this one. This was another one where it was an auction after the prime auction. So I got this for a good price. That's what I love.
That's a very nice color strike on that 7.5. That is a remarkably high grade for that book.
Yeah. So yeah, just another Joe Doolin. So he did Rangers, which is another main Fiction House titles. This is one. Remember I told you about that annoying pedigree?
Oh my God, is this the guy, the date guy?
Yeah, look at this.
I couldn't stand that, man. I have to just tell you,
So,
I can't stand it.
Not a bad grade. It's just annoying with all the.
It's ruined. It's ruined.
It's such a cool cover though. It's like, with this wheel and then the fire and stuff, and you got this guy with this, gonna like.
They call him a sword. They call that a sword.
Yeah.
A samurai sword.
So I'm not sure. Is it a samurai sword? I don't know. It doesn't really look like a katana. It doesn't quite have the right look to it. But,
No.
But yeah, and you got this guy in the back, coming in late to save the day.
Now, did he throw? It looks to me as though, check it out. He threw a bolo onto that blade. Do you see it? He threw a bolo to catch it.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't even notice that.
Yes, Tom.
I get
Scimitar.
so distracted by all the things, and I don't get why he put this number 5 thing.
It might have been the 5th book in his collection.
Remember how I showed you the
9 was the 9.
Yeah. So I have a few from this pedigree of whatever it's called. Oh yeah, it's not quite a scimitar either.
It's pretty close. It looks like a Chinese sword, it's a Chinese soldier sword, is what it is. But it's a generic, but he's Japanese, as you can see, because the flag is on his chest.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
Yeah. So I guess it's supposed to be a katana, but
Or it's not a Gendaito because they're longer. I have one of those from 1939.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay, and probably one of the more classic fight. So that was Rangers. Now I'm going to get into fight. This is a classic fight cover where you got the decapitated guy, like literally decapitated. Let me zoom in as much as I can. Again, the colors on some of these fiction houses, they just wouldn't. The reds weren't red, and probably later in the print run, and that's why. But I think it's just a really cool cover. One of the few real decapitation covers of the era.
Red was the color that was the most absent for Fiction House, and understand that part of the reason for that was that part of that, the reason for that was during the war, sometimes you couldn't get certain colors. Okay. And if you happen to be at it may have been that only the first few books, and then it basically then faded to this light orange. And the World War II books for Fiction House, a lot of them have that. Mm-hmm. And that's the way they were printed new.
This one has a bit better colors, but still a bit orangey. The next one I have has really vibrant colors. But this is another classic cover. There's actually a pulp with the exact same cover as well, which I have as well, actually. I've been trying to get all the pulps to match. I don't know why. like
That cover is so. I actually, I have my loon. I have a loon copy of that particular book. I always was intrigued by the fact that, and actually, if you could move to your left a little bit, so you're not your title where you other way, so that you now we can see the whole cover. Thank you. That's better because your comic collector geek thing was covering up.
Yeah.
Look at the diamonds in the skull's eyeballs.
One sec here. Wait, if I go like this, you can maybe see it a bit better.
Why would they put diamonds in the eyes of the skull? I mean, the skulls in the orbs. It's weird, but cool.
Yeah, I always like this cover though. You got the Nazi flag at the top. You got this Nazi guy laughing in the background as this vulture's about to eat the girl in a red dress. I don't know. I think it's
let's call it an orange dress. I think it was actually orange.
Actually, in real life, it's more red. I think my colors are not coming across that clearly. It's actually a bit more red. This actually doesn't have that bad colors. Yeah, the next one has better colors. You'll see it's a deep orange on this one. So this has a bit better colors.
My copy of that book is beautiful structurally. That is the nicest color strike I've ever seen of that cover. That is the nicest. That's the best color strike I've ever seen on that book.
It's really hard to get with this. Usually it's very faded. I don't know. Like this one was I kind of upgraded I had another copy.
Hi, Lyle. Big Lyle is here.
Oh, hi, Big Lyle. But yeah, this one I upgraded to because I kind of wanted the deeper colors. I really like this cover. I just think it's really cool how they put their on the wheel of this pedal boat. Or,
they call them stern wheelers.
Stern wheelers, yeah. There was another name. What's the other name for it?
Well, a paddle wheeler, the difference between a paddle wheeler and a stern wheeler is the paddle wheelers had two circular paddle devices on either side of the hull. Okay? It would be on the beam. This was at the stern.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. So yeah, I like that one. And two more. Just two more. Another one, they love attaching women to wheels. I don't that's a thing you do. If you're gonna put a girl in bondage, put her on a wheel. There's another one.
Well, you can see you can just move her around to where you want her.
Yeah. So again, she's on a wheel. I don't know why. It's always on a wheel.
She's upside downy.
Yeah. So I thought this one was cool. This is Fight 44, the classic dueling cover.
That's a great one.
Typewriter on the back, or no, sorry.
No, X-Acto knives.
X-Acto knife kit. Sorry. Yeah, it looked like a typewriter when I looked at it for a second there. Yeah. And then the last one, actually, this is the first cover appearance of Senorita Rio.
It is indeed.
Yeah, so and it's another headlight cover. So I thought this one was classic. Just a great one. I love when you have like the gun that's been just fired and then the smoke's kind of trailing through. And you got these weird spider cult where they have the spider on their backs. Or is it ant cult? I don't know. It says spider cult, but they have only 6 legs. How's that work? It says spider cult, but they only have 6 legs. That's an ant. Isn't it?
I leave that to you.
Isn't that like, no, but doesn't it look more like an ant?
Yes.
Tell me, is it an ant or spider?
It's the spider cult.
Well, it's a spider cult, but they have an ant.
That's right.
They didn't get the memo, I guess. Sorry, spiders have 8 legs. But okay. Mutant spiders.
Mutated, that's it. Thanks, Steve. That's the only possible answer.
Yeah, it's like, the brown recluse spiders only have 6 legs. I don't think so. Okay, so those are my books. Those are the Joe Doolin Fiction House ones. As I said, he worked on pretty much most of the titles. There's some pretty big ones, like Fight 35 is kind of the crescendo of
Crescendo.
Crescendo.
There's an H in there. Crescendo.
crescendo of Joe Doolin covers, and yeah, I figured
They're
I'll
beautiful.
show it
Those
on
are
a different
beautiful.
day. I'll show that one on a different day because it's in a
Okay.
box. But yeah.
Those are beautiful books. I'll tell you, Doolin is one of my favorite underappreciated artists. The fact that he had already served our country as we approach Veterans Day tomorrow, Remembrance Day, Armistice Day. And of course, it was a big day for my grandfather when he basically was able to come home. It was the same thing. You're stuck over there until you got your turn and to come home. And it was done, and there were a lot of guys over there that wanted to come home. And that's during World War II, and there were even more. They even had an operation, what they called it, Operation Magic Carpet. And every vessel that they had that could go would go to try to help bring all these people back, all of our people back home. And they also...
Do you guys do the poppies in?
No, and the poppies are from the Somme. Do you know what? Or do you know the story?
Yeah.
From the Somme.
That's the First World War.
They had this. Yes, it was the Somme. The Somme for the British, Verdun for the French, were the two horrific, ongoing, perpetual, incredible waste of life.
Yeah,
where the
people died in one battle or something crazy.
It was the number of loss, and there were no disinfectants, or there was no effective way to stop any of the infections. And there they are. They're on farmed soil. They're fighting through farms, and the bacteria from all the manure that they put down to have stuff grow went into these wounds and went wild. And that's why they lost so many limbs. They couldn't stop it. It was such an ungodly waste of life that was unnecessary. Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
But I just got a sector map where I showed where the numbers, they had blue dots on this reference map. And then there would be a number inside. And it was like whatever the sectors were, like 250 meters square. And they had it all plotted out. And they'd have a blue dot with a number in it for how many men had died in that spot. They tracked it. It is so sobering and incredible. Give praise and give remembrance to our veterans who gave all they had and were wounded and survived and went through. It's an important thing to do, to remember that. You can't forget this. It mustn't be forgotten. And I guess there's some static over in England about wearing poppies now that it's offensive in some way. I won't even start on what's going on in England. It's not good. Here is a great one. Another loon book. Here, Tawny is being lowered down into the compound with the look at the leopard's face and the lion.
He smiled.
It's just funny. Here's the curved dagger in JoJo's hand, and look at the shoes. She's wearing like court jester shoes. What's with these shoes? He obviously was not fashion forward. Now, her top is coming undone, and her little waist, her little panty set is sort of having difficulty. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Very, very distinctive Kamen cover. And they always have the crawl. One other thing that you will also notice, her lions. Do you know that it's always black natives everywhere, black natives, and nothing but white women, almost without exception. All they are. So here in the Belgian Congo, they got all these black guys that are hanging out with white women. I never understood that. Later on, they did have ones that they did color correctly, that they would be black. But in these books, there were always white women that were, anyway, that's just the way it was. I'm not trying to be unpleasant or anything like that. It's just, that's just the way that they did it.
Natives in in them as well. They'd have native women too.
They
You know,
would. They
sort of
they
brownish.
eventually did, but for the most part, it was. If you look inside, you'll see.
I know.
Here's another JoJo with with a lion with a tiger or whatever that has a face, and very very stylized tusks on the elephant. The curved blade that you can see,
He has the curved tusks smashed to the
and they have
curved
the
blade.
curved tusks as well.
Yeah.
Buona Beast wasn't even a thought.
Mm-hmm.
They served, so we didn't have to, and we enjoy what we enjoy because of them.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. Here's another one where he actually gets his way all the way over to Tawny to start to do something. By the way, Tawny always very much same thing in Fiction House. Tawny, it's always the slavers and the slave traders that want to get them to make them slaves to some Raja or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, I'm not sure about this one. I didn't get a chance to look it up, and they don't put numbers on them, but I didn't know if this was a Kamen or not. I will show it just the same because I have it in with, but it's just a great cover.
I think that's a Kamen. I'm pretty sure.
The reason she's grimacing is because she's got a slug just went right through her. Tonkata, tonkata, tonkata. Ladies and gentlemen, the jungle drums have started.
One sec here, I'm looking it up.
All right. I'll show it so. This one, finding these with this kind of color strike, I don't have all very many Ziff Davises. There are quite a few that I would like to have. Some of those painted covers, the robot ones and stuff like that. There's some pretty amazing stuff. Ziff Davis is underappreciated. So is Avon. Both of those. There's some really great stuff in and amongst in those companies that you can find. What's the word, Alan?
Sorry, I'm just looking up. Okay, so I found it. It does not say who did the cover.
Okay, now the reason I say it's him is because if you look at her physiognomy, this is Kamen all day long. And her face was his attempt at someone who basically is dying right in front of you.
Yeah, one sec here. I'm going to look at another resource and see if they say it's Kamen.
Felix says it's number 4.
Yes, it's Murder Incorporated number 4. Yep, doesn't say.
Okay. Okay, but I'm saying so because you've seen a bunch of his work that I've been showing you, and this is consistent with that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I saw this and I said I'm 95% sure that she was drawn by him. But isn't that a beautiful cover? I was very fortunate to buy at a time when these were more accessible and available. And by living long enough, but the other thing that I kept saying is that you buy your books and you hold them. And that's why I've been able to have these. These are part of the real sinew of my collection. When I made my trades, there were nice books that I was prepared to trade away, and all of them were slabs because they are more liquid. But this kind of material, there's no way in God's green earth could I afford, nor would I be able to find books of this condition to show with color strikes. And this one I'm showing you because even Phantom Lady was graced with a Jack Kamen cover, but they waited till the very last issue to do it. And here it is, Phantom Lady. Was it 23, I think? No, I do not have that. But this is one that I also got from Dave. And it is...
that was on my list this week, by the way.
I know. I saw that you had that. I had this in mind. You'll notice that Kamen went to the trouble that she's in a boat somewhere because you've got the structure over the top of them that they're in a boat, and she's lashed to the mast for whatever nefarious thing. She is in bondage with her breasts hanging out big time, and it looks like little beads or little something or another, holding her very ample rack up. Isn't that a beauty?
Mm.
It's a
That is a good
tough
one.
book. I mean, Phantom Ladies are all tough. 14, 17, and 23 are the three
That's
best
yeah, I'd say that's the
are the three best covers in the run. The others are good too. The one with her, but as far as it being the where things are hanging out, as far as that goes,
I'd say
this
that's second biggest of the run.
yeah, this one is just this particular copy. The color strike on it is absolutely spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
And the last raw book I will show you is Zoot. And this was from a collection that was found in a canteen, Hollywood canteen, like a store, where it was old stock that they had found. And this is one of the best. Now, I don't believe this is Baker. I think this is Kamen.
1 sec here. Wait, just give me 1 sec.
You see, they really did have and I say this because, and I know it is, Alan, you don't have to. If you look at how she's laid out, does it say Kamen? Look at your label.
Mine says Jack Kamen cover.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll let you
Thank you.
There you go.
So, but you got so much stuff. You got, not only do the natives have bones in their noses, they're pygmies to boot, right? And they're evil, angry pygmies. And they're going after this woman. She's cracking the ants have eaten that limb and it's cracking out. Down into the cobra pit she's going to go as they are forked by this guy. I mean, this is just what they do. This is how they were. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Now, those are the raws. And here we go. This Kamen cover took me forever to find, and I've told this story before, but I will just show the cover here. Here is the Saint #1.
That's at CGC for me. I sent it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will translate that for you. I have that.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? This one was for sale, and it did on my comic shop, and the guy's price was so high it didn't sell. So they lowered his price, which was still astronomical, and it didn't sell. So then finally, the last resort that they'll do, this is over a period of months. Mm-hmm. And I tried to say, and I think he had a best offer on it the second time around. And his best offer, it's one of these best offers.
These are all Kamen covers.
Jack Kamen. And the interesting thing was when they say or best offer, and the price of the book is $1,200, and you put $1,195, and it says rejected, and you go, well, what do you want, So mm-hmm. It's not really your best offer, and that's what he did. And then he finally said, I give up, I'm putting it into auction, and I won this one at the auction for considerably less, much to his chagrin. But I think his price was fair, but I didn't want to pay it. And I wanted to see if I could get it. And this is one that I had a copy years and years ago that I sold, which was another one of the cautionary tales, don't sell your books, because I couldn't replace the one I had, which wasn't as nice as this one. I actually came out ahead on this one. All right, there's that. Here is arguably, and I am the one who argues it, but this is arguably of the best, if not the best, Jack Kamen cover there is. It is Brenda Star 14 by 4-Star Comics from March of 1948, right in the heart of the Good Girl boom, which was 47, 48, 49. And here it is. Mm. And although she wasn't, I don't know if Janet Leigh was if something in 48. I saw her in a movie with Robert Mitchum where she was young with a kid that her husband died in the war. So I think this really was fashioned after, because it looks just like Janet Leigh. I mean, her breasts and her hips and her face and her hair and Everything else says Janet Leigh.
And
You know,
Janet Leigh's
the one that
from
died in the
Psycho, right?
shower at
Yeah,
Psycho. You know,
Psycho, yeah.
but the trick on this one, and I've said this before too, is that the radiator is blue and her dress is green, and the strike, the flesh in yellow for her hair, and the orange of the wall. Finding this book with a full color strike is very, very difficult to do. And there was a 7 that was a little more expensive because structurally it was a 7. This is a 6.5, but structurally it was a 7, but it was a faded cover. And as I always say, buy the book and not the label. I took the lower grade, saved money, and have a much better presenting book. Now, what started all this? What started all this was Blue Beetle. And I showed you the raw Blue Beetle 54. I finally got the last Kamen Blue Beetle that I needed. And so I will show, that'll be the last one, but I'm going to show you my Blue Beetles. Here is issue number 48. And her name is Black Lace. Blue Beetle, beware. Black Lace is her name and murder is her business. I think her breasts are her business, frankly. But you'll notice that she has black lace that basically holds those mountainous orbs from falling out. And she has lace going over. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's the mirror play again. As you can see, it's one of the things that he would do, that the woman is looking at the window and we see what the window is doing in the mirror. So we get both perspectives on the cover. And here is the rapid fire Tommy gun that I can show you the ad, but if I showed you the toy, which I don't have, this was a cheap, it has the look, it has the Tracy on it, you get a badge and everything, and all it does is goes clickety, 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 click. They say, sounds just like a Thompson. No, it doesn't. Or so. Here is Blue Beetle number 49. This is from October of 47. Again, we're right in the sweet spot. Blue Beetle started in Fox Features, and the guy who is Alan, who is the Blue Beetle?
Blue Beetle, it's not Ted Cord, it's the other guy.
And what was his name? Do you want to think about that?
I don't remember his name.
All right, his profession, he was a policeman, and when he turned into the Blue Beetle, he just put on his suit, and then he runs around and he's tough and he's everything else, but it's just one of those things. What makes the Blue Beetle good is that there's beautiful women that are around him that are helping him. His name is Dan Garrett.
Oh, Dan Garrett. Okay.
Who said? Sean said it too. So anyway, but here you go. But she's a redhead in trouble plenty. And the grades that I show you are not necessarily commensurate with the color strike. For example, you look at this. This is a 3.5, but look at this cover.
Yeah, I know.
What's the problem? I mean, I'm prepared to buy 3.5s all day long. When they look like this, it's a 6.
Not sure what this is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the vagaries of it. And then the other thing is, why don't you crack it out and send in? I don't want to put the book at risk. I don't want to risk it. So that's that. And there's the 6. It has the Thompson ad as well. Rapid. That was 49. Here is 50. Blue Beetle 50, and this is from November of 47, which would probably be September of 47. So we're still deep in the heart of 47. And she is lovely, sort of Deborah Carr hairdo. And all of, now you'll notice, look at the Blue Beetle. He's got a blue suit, a red belt with a Blue Beetle on a belt, a mask, and very little line work. Look at the girl. This is what Kamen would do, and this is what Baker would do. They spent 80% of their time building the female, and then the balance of the time they said they do the guys. And the guy looks fine. The Blue Beetle looks fine. He's fine. Fine. But she is super duper fine. And she's got a tear up her dress. She's torn her dress clear up to the top of her thigh. So she had to run.
Lingerie cover. That's a lingerie top. So
it's a lingerie top that is slipping off, and her breasts are all oily and everything else for your amusement and edification. Because that's all I want to do. I want to enlighten you, sort of. Isn't that a pip? 7.5.
Nice.
That was really, and almost all of these Blue Beetles, because I couldn't find them. Because I sold the ones I had before, and they were lower grade when my first one long ago. But then, about 3 years ago, when there was trouble in the economy, people were selling their books because they needed the money, because comics are a luxury. And so all of these that I'm showing you, these now, almost all of these, came from my comic shop. And the whole thing was, I said, and I was mentioning this to Alan, and I pointed this out, it was the same thing for Matt Baker, is that all of these books were sitting there, had come in, and the prices had not, and the prices on these Blue Beetles were priced to sell. Because even in the 90s, they weren't the prices that they were even higher priced in the 90s. And here I am getting a 7.5. I never would have had a sniff at a 7.5 of this book. Ever. No one would sell them back then. It just was, you saw the pictures in the Gerber photojournal, or you see a picture of them, someplace, but you just couldn't buy them. And then all of a sudden, here they were. And I didn't waste time. I knew what I was looking at, and I jumped. So that's how. So these, I haven't had these years and years and years and years. The 54s I do, or those I've had those for years and years because I refuse to sell them under any circumstances. But this one is just killer. Here is another one. Here is 51. And this is from December of 47, so it's probably October of 47. 47 is still in full effect. The nice little green bow ties, the bow tie belt, and the bow tie bodice. And it's just the purple and green. And look at the accent coloring as it stretches tight across her thighs. The Shady Lady. And she has that short haircut as well.
Mm-hmm.
That cool?
Very cool.
This is all Jack Kamen.
My next unboxing, by the way.
Very good. This is, I think, a second generation slab. This is a really early slab. It's not first gen. I think it's a second gen. But here is my slabbed 54.
Very nice.
This is from the Toronto Riverdale collection with a certificate of authenticity. And at one point in its life, it was in Comic Connect.
That's weird.
I bought that. I bought this on eBay. We're right at nearing the end of the ride here. Here is 55, and this is again Kamen. And this has a topless panel inside, and it's the story of some gal that's trying to hide in a girls' school from the cops trying to catch her. She enrolled because she is good looking, but she's evil as hell, and they catch her, but she's evil as hell. And there's a picture. I put it on my poster when I posted this book, the interior. The one page that was in really bad shape on Comic Book Plus was the one page that was it's a shower scene.
Oh, wow.
And she's basically naked in the shower, rubbing her breasts and getting all soapy. But this McGill is going to throw Carlo Barone, Human Vulture.
That's one of the ones I'm missing, by the way.
Yeah, it isn't the best cover. It's a good cover, but it's hard to find. But not as hard to find as the last one that I'm just about to show you, and we'll be able to wind this up. And by the way, on the back is this dress, Fiesta dress. These rayon dresses were like, if you put a match on these things, they just go up. So it was really you had to be careful. The rayon and stuff that they were saying, oh, it's miracle stuff. Gosh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, as long as you don't go near.
Stay away from open flames.
Fire.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Stay away from open flames. What's the entertainment? The entertainment is and looking on the back here. This is from Silver's. I haven't seen this. This book came from Silver's Drugstore, American News.
Wow.
Saddle shoes, of course. You see, this is April of 48.
Nice.
Now, the last book is one that is sort of a reverse cover. Most of them are yellow that have red. This one is red with yellow. Most of the gals are noirettes, black hair or red hair. This one is a blonde. Here is Blue Beetle number 52. And this one is from January of 48. So probably November of 47. And here it is.
I think Kamen liked green dresses, actually.
I think he did too. But here she is. She's chained in a well with this very, very stylized looking well, where the perspective that he used to have all the stone around that, as she basically is chained in a well. Isn't that something?
No, I really like that one.
This one was always when I was looking in the 90s, almost all the other ones, virtually all the other ones were, you could get them. This one I couldn't. I never was able to get this.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing was, I talked to our friend Yaniv, and he says, are there any books which are always the most dangerous words here, says, are there any books you're looking for? Never tell him, because he'll find them for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I really would like to get the Blue Beetle 52. I haven't been able to find one. If I can find one that isn't an arm and a leg. And he said, call Lassie. Timmy! But anyway, so what happened was, I hadn't heard from him. And then on my comic shop was a 4.0 or a 3.5.
I think it was a 3.5, yeah.
It was a 3.5. And I said, I let him know. I said, okay, I found a copy. It wasn't as nice as this one, but it was as nice as I thought I was ever going to find of this book. And he says, oh, I wish you would have told me. I wish I would have known. I found you a copy. And I said, Yaniv, am I a mind reader? How did I know you would have had that? What's the drill? And so he says, it's a 4.5. Give me another $150 from what you paid for the 3.5, and I'll give you the 4.5. So I was on the horns of a dilemma. So whenever I'm on the horns of a dilemma, which is an unpleasant situation, I called Alan and I said, listen to my tale of woe. What would you do? And he said what he always says. He says, run in circles, scream and shout. He said, call up my comic shop and cancel because it's still processing. I said, yes, then you can cancel. I called and I was able to cancel. And it was an or best offer. They started well up around $13.75, and I got them down to what was it, 11, and then I made up 150, and I was happy with what I had gotten. And then this one is a far nicer copy. The color strike is better, the condition is better, all the way around a better copy. And so that's how I got this. And it was kind of funny how when it rains, it pours, that one came out. I don't know if it's still at my comic shop.
I think it's in my cart.
Okay. If it's in your cart, but you have to make an offer. I think or did they get rid of the or best offer? Anyway.
No, it's still a best offer. I just have to, I'll do that once I'm ready to check out.
So, but here you go. This is the last one of the ones that I want in my Blue Beetle run. I will just say this about the Blue Beetle run with Jack Kamen for Fox Features Syndicate. This group of books, almost from the very start, were the most valuable and desirable books for good girl art, other than Phantom Lady, that there was. The two titles that everyone wanted to get was Phantom Lady and Blue Beetle. But looking at the Phantom Lady for the 3 covers that were the really good ones, Blue Beetle delivered better covers consistently through the entire run. And that's why the Blue Beetles are still, because Phantom Lady gets all the jam, the Blue Beetles are still a relatively good value because Kamen does not have the same cachet that Matt Baker does, but he should. And in my mind, he is an equal to Matt Baker in a different way, as just as the Immortal Biggie Shack had said, where Baker's ladies are just plain beautiful, foxy and delicious figures, but very pretty in the face, whereas Kamen was more overt sexually in his pictures. He had more of what it takes to get along. And so this is the book that I was so excited to show you, and that's where I am.
Very cool. And that is it for today, guys. Thanks everyone for watching and hanging out with us. And I hope you guys enjoyed both Doolin and Kamen. It's hard to compete with Kamen because Kamen's much more sexy. I think he is one of the sexiest artists of the golden age.
He really is, and there are a lot of good ones. And you also, it's the style. You look at you look at Corliss art. You look at those Sunny covers back there.
They're good too. Yeah.
They're good too. But Kamen consistently, and his body of work, there it is.
Okay, so I don't know what to say. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and goodbye, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.